Heyo, it's me, Hopper Savage, and today I want to try out these dual tip oil marker set because they say a lot of interesting things on them. On the back it says that these permanent markers can be used for paper, canvas, ceramic, and glass surfaces, wood, stone, plastic, and fabric. So I don't know much about oil. Maybe it goes on all surfaces, but this kind of just described 3 different markers on the same package, where we have oil-based, permanent, and can go on anything like acrylic. So what are these exactly? And that's what we're going to find out today. Well, we have my regular old sketchbook. I want to do the swatches in here and see if I need to get better paper. Okay, so this is a set of 24. I was excited by the amount with the price. I got these from Five Below. They are 1616 Holdings ink, which is typically sold at Five Below. I don't know if it's like Five Below's like official branding or anything, but I've noticed a lot of the products are by them in the art section. So here's the back once again. Look at all the cool colors, and we get 2 different nibs. So I want to get them out of their package here. I've actually had these for a while in the drawer, so I'm not sure if these are still available at Five Below, but I feel like they probably are. Make sure we get them all out. We don't want another brown incident to happen. Okay, so let me grab one that's color. Okay, so this is generally what they look like. They have colored caps, black barrel. It's kind of like a glossy, shiny finish. They feel lightweight, and they are triangular. Here is the bullet, or they're calling it a fine tip, like Sharpie. And here is the soft brush tip. They do have a permanent marker smell to them. Now, I'm going to arrange these in rainbow order. They were in an order, not what I would call rainbow, but they were in an order in the packaging, and I ruined it by dumping them all out. Okay, so I went ahead and I put a protective sheet in between here. Not that I care because it's my sketchbook. It's a dollar store sketchbook. If, you know, you're new to the channel and haven't seen me before, this is a very cheap sketchbook. You can see right through the paper. So if it really is a permanent marker, I'm expecting bleed through. But if it's more like a paint marker, then hopefully it won't bleed through. I don't know. The package confuses me. Anyways, I put them in what I believe is rainbow order by cap. This color on the end looks like it could be a really dark blue or it could be black. I don't know what it is yet. We'll find out though. Let's go ahead and get to swatching. Oh. Not the color I thought it was gonna be. Okay, so the brush end felt nice and the bullet end felt stiff, which is what I would expect. I'm going to make a couple of statements now before we even get to the end of the video here. Some of the cap colors are not accurate to the color that they are, obviously. I was shocked when this red cap came out on like neon orange color. Another one to note is, I think this purple one is actually pink. And these 2 greens are absolutely the same, which are right here, and their caps are the same, so I guess it makes sense. Let me go ahead and show you the back of the page. There was bleed through. It did come out over here a little bit, not a lot though. Obviously there is major ghosting. Yeah, there's just like little blotches here and there. It's hard to tell because I'm reusing a scrap piece of paper, but that's the black watch right there. So that's something to keep in mind. You can't really use these in double-sided coloring books, unfortunately. That was what I was planning to use these for if they worked out. So I am noticing we're missing some colors here, although I am grateful for like the 5 shades of orange. We don't have a pure yellow, we don't have a pure red, we only have 1 purple. Which is common. The purple thing is common, but the others, not really. I think my favorite shade, despite it tricking me into thinking it was red, is probably this orange one. It's a little bit fluorescent. It's hard to see it on the camera, but I definitely do like that color, probably the best out of all the colors here. Despite the 2 repeat greens, I do think there is a good variety of colors here if you're going for most different colors in a set. All those statements aside, let's go ahead and do like a blend test or something here to really see how these markers are going to work. I'm going to pick a relatively easy blend test. These 3 greens look like they'll like blend into each other. So I'm going to do that. For these 3 right here. We'll also kind of get an idea of when the paper might start tearing and how well these color in general. Like if they're gonna be super dry when you flick fast, or if they're gonna be fine, and how much area each of them kind of color, and how streaky it's gonna be, you know. This blend test will tell us a lot of answers that we may or may not have had questions about. Now, I just released a Sharpie marker video on how to blend, so check that out if you're interested in seeing how to blend permanent markers, because I'm pretty much going to be using that technique. So before I talk about the blend test here, let's go ahead and flip the page. Oh, let's go ahead and flip the page to see the bleed. Yes, there is some bleeding. And did it go through this? No. So I think like 1 sheet of paper or that plastic thing. I'm not really sure what the bleed plastic thing is called, but I know I have one and I lost it. I think that would be enough to stop the bleeding. So on camera, I can actually see the cuts where I did color it separately more than I can in real life, but it does blend a little. It's not a good blend, but it's not a bad blend. So I would say if you want to blend, you're going to have to do small areas and really work at it. So you'd probably want thicker paper. So with all this knowledge, let's go ahead and put these markers to the test. I'm going to be coloring in a coloring book for this because I just don't feel like making my own art today. So let me get a coloring book to color with these. I've decided I'm going to be coloring in my Foraging in the Wild coloring book that I made myself. Here's the flip through if you're interested. I'm going to be coloring in the peach page here because I want to see how these markers do on Amazon paper. So I got my protective sheet behind here. I have the swatches off to the side, off camera here, so I know what colors are what. Let's get coloring and see how they do on the Amazon paper. So I finished coloring this in, and I gotta say I'm kind of shocked at the lack of streakiness. There is this lighter patch right here, and that's because this blue is actually dying. I noticed that with a couple of the markers that they're already kind of dry, and I'm not sure if that's a me thing because I've had these for like several months, but you can tell. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. You can tell on the end there that it's like really light. Now they could fill back in over time, but that could be a long-term problem when you're trying to color in a big area and the marker keeps drying out. I don't really see these lasting too long, unfortunately. In my opinion, these can't really replace your permanent markers, but they could make for good coloring tools, at least for a little bit. I think there's a good variety of colors. I just wish there was like a pure yellow and a more red and a couple more purples. But other than that, I think these are pretty cool, and they're only $5 at Five Below, so can't really beat that, especially if you're someone who doesn't have permanent markers or Sharpies and are looking for something like this. So I'm not sure if I totally believe that it can write on most surfaces like this is implying. I think it might be able to go on some plastics. Fabric, obviously, like, you can stain your fabric pretty easy, but I'm finding like ceramic and glass hard to believe, but I don't have anything to test that theory with. But I think the rest of them are kind of believable for a permanent marker to go on to. So, you know, test the ceramic and glass at your own risk if you do get these, because again, I don't really have anything to test that on, unfortunately. I came a little bit unprepared here with this last minute video I decided to record at midnight. I do feel like these are pretty good for the price that they are. I kind of believe that they're better than the price that they are at $5. I don't think they're spectacular. Like, I would pay at maximum $10 for this set. So I think the $5 price range is excellent for the quality. It is. Before we close off the video here, I do have something I just want to question and speculate, I guess. I'm wondering if these are going to have this weird, like, ghost discoloration that some of the Five Below and, like, a more bargain-priced alcohol markers have. Now, I have a really bad example in this one. This is my other coloring book, if you're interested. This is where I did a 3-marker challenge. There's like this yellow strip right here. It's hard to see, but it is from this green one that I know was like a Five Below marker. So let me find a better example where you could probably see it a little bit better though. Alright, I have this beautiful nature color by numbers here. And as you can see, the green off of here transferred to here. Now this is what I mean by like ghost bleeding. It's just because the pages were together. It wasn't like it was wet or anything and it happened. It was just the book was closed and it happened. And I see this happen with black too. So I don't know what it is about like green and black, at least for me, where this happens. So if it does happen, maybe I'll check back in with you guys like in a short or something, showing you if there was any like ghosting, bleeding, I don't know what that's called, discoloration happening on the next page. But that is going to be it from me today. If you guys want to see another compare and review video, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTubey things of comment, liking, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!